Today, we're all familiar with the glory of the Italian underworld cabal that is the Cosa Nostra Mafia. For many decades, if not centuries, the world has marveled and quivered in fear as news media outlets, books, and movies gave us the fascinatingly grim yet lavish tales of this dangerous Italian society. However, they failed to inform us of another insidious group that has been pervading the Italian underbelly before it went on to spread its influence all over Europe and parts of South America in its bid to become one of the biggest crime syndicates in the world. Based in the soul of the Italian boot in the southern region of Calabria, you cannot ignore this secret group. How did they stay hidden for so long, and how did they rise to such prominence in the global criminal world? To learn how this powerful criminal organization rose to prominence, let's take a look at the Ndrangheta, the nightmare of the mafia. Origins. There's no coming to terms with what this powerful group is and how they rose to power without taking a look at their origins. Dubious as the origin story of such a secret organization could be, it seems that the most reliable sources tend to believe that this criminal association was formed by a gang of Sicilian criminals and outlaws all the way back in the 1860s. After establishing a base in the mountains of Aspromonte, a region that was pivotal in protecting the desperados from the long arms of the law, they were able to form their society properly with the region of Calabria as their base for several centuries. Now settled, it is believed that today, the criminal organization now makes about $60 billion per annum. To put that into scale, that is similar to the GDP of small European countries like Croatia. We're sure viewers can guess how they made this money. For many years, this group of criminals have enjoyed the illegal benefits of being involved in trafficking drugs within and outside Italy. In fact, it is believed that the group is in control of approximately 86% of all the cocaine that comes into the whole of Europe. That's a lot of drugs. They were forced to settle with dealing cocaine because they were not as powerful as the Cosa Nostra Mafia, who were in favor of dealing the more valuable heroin. A host of illegal activities. As big as this is for them, the group isn't a one-trick pony, as they are also known to be involved in other illegal activities such as trafficking of arms and weapons, extortion of the vulnerable, prostitution and human trafficking, and perhaps finally, money laundering. It is partly thanks to their participation in these sort of illegal activities that they'd gone unnoticed by the authorities within and outside Italy for many years. This is further amplified by their expertise in money laundering, because this helped them get involved in several legal endeavors such as the trademark industries of construction and waste management, which in turn helps them mask their illicit activities. This only seemed to embolden them to earn their moniker as the nightmare of the mafia, as they have been blamed for several murder and kidnapping attempts all through Europe. For example, it was estimated that for 2 decades, starting from the 70s to the 90s, the Ndrangheta was responsible for over 200 kidnappings in Italy. So prolific were they that the ransom was enough for them to fund the criminal organization's growth and expansion all over the world. Family division. You could say things began to change when the value of cocaine, their most valuable product, rose exponentially in value. This caused a power shift because now they had the money to rival even the Cosa Nostra. However, what truly ensured the stability and the longevity was the insistence of keeping the business and their recruitment process entirely in the family. The policy has, is, and will always be that every single member must be a blood member of the family. As such, this familial bond has been used to prevent any law enforcement agency like the FBI, CIA, or Interpol from penetrating the group or turning the heads of the members of the Ndrangheta. Groomed from a young age, the boys became regarded as the Giovani d'Onore, the boys of honor. Once they mature into young men, they become referred to as the Uomini d'Onore, the men of honor. This familial bond has been used to set the paths of all the members of the group. However, in recent times, just like in The Godfather, it seems like non-familial members are slowly slipping into this illegal organization as they look to expand worldwide. Nonetheless, the familial bond has helped the group seclude themselves and their territory from the world. It makes it too unlikely for any one of these men to betray their blood relatives. Anybody who's ready to do this must fear being disowned from their family and worse because, as you can imagine, such a betrayal cannot go unpunished. However, to even get to the point where these Omni d'Onore will have the desire to fail or double-cross their fraternity has proven to be a Herculean task for the authorities. This would mean that they would lose their place in the highly organized gang of rogues. The faction can be divided into 2 groups. On top is the Crimini, which serves as the Ndrangheta's leading council. Underneath them is the Mondomedi, which could also be divided into 3 groups which denote what parts of Calabria each member comes from. The group also categorizes within the Ndrina familial clans, which indicates where each family member comes from. These family affiliates are known as the Ndrina, which is named after each boss, and they consist of a group made up of a handful of men. The Ndrangheta is usually in control of their local neighborhood or district, and when there is more than one of these groups in an area, rather than descending into rivalry, the group come together to form what is known as the locale. Each locale is led by 3 groups of people. On top is the boss or the CAPO BASTOGNE, who is in control of the accountant, and the crimine, who is the arms minister of the locale. Furthermore, the Ndrangheta is made up of about 100 organized groups that are known as the COSH. In total, this means that the criminal cabal is made up of about 100,000 members worldwide. Sitting cozy at their base in Calabria is the Crimini, a group known to reside in the San Lucio region, which is considered to be the base of this illicit organization. Maybe it's because all the male members of this town are loyal members of the Ndrangheta. Together with other members of the worldwide organization, the residents of San Lucio are known to meet once a year at the sanctuary of POLSI. This meeting, which is known as the crimine, is where every boss debriefs the group on what they've been up to for an entire year. This went unchecked until 1969, which is when the Italian police force decided to raid this meeting. This helped the authorities apprehend about 70 members of the Ndrangheta. However, this still didn't seem to bring the group down. In fact, the only thing that seems to be able to destroy the group is forces from within. Internal conflict. That is because no group can avoid internal conflict. Such conflict is usually caused by those trying to claim more power or money for themselves, and although some may have gotten what they wanted, this has always come at the cost of bloodshed. For example, one of the earliest notable struggles within the group was that which occurred in 1974. For 3 years, the group had to deal with an internal struggle for power. This skirmish took the lives of more than 200 members of the Ndrangheta. As if that wasn't bad enough, this death toll was multiplied when the group fought within itself in a 6-year battle that started in 1985. At the end of the day, a total of more than 1,000 members lost their lives to this war over the assignment of public contracts. Since then, the group may have had other internal battles, but it has remained strong since then. Time for the law to step in. However, that may change in recent times because the Italian legislature has amended their laws to target the Ndrangheta as the illegal organization that it is. As such, since this 2012 amendment, several members of this group have been apprehended by the long arm of the law. One notable raid after a 2-year investigation in Swiss accounts that was suspected of being involved in the cocaine business. At least 90 individuals suspected of being in the Ndrangheta were apprehended by the authorities. Following this, the City Council of Reggio Calabria was dissolved in a purported display of strength by the illegal organization. This is significant because this was apparently the first governmental provincial council to be dismissed. However, this show of power proved to be insufficient because following this, a crackdown on the group that resulted in the arrest of over 300 Ndrangheta members sparked speculation that this powerful group was slowly losing its influence in Italy. Thanks to the new legislation, there are also fears that the familial relationship between members may not be enough to stop them from betraying their kin. It seems like we may lose one of the most powerful criminal organizations before they were even made public to the world. Only time will tell for sure, but for now, we can only watch as some of the most powerful criminal organizations in Italy rule the criminal world. This brings our video to an end. Do you know any members? Please tell us all about them in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Until next time, goodbye.